Hogs OG was different. The other hoglins knew it. They snorted at his crooked tusks. They laughed at his clumsy gait. Even the adult hoglins joined in. They called him names. They shoved him in the mud. Hogs OG was an outcast. He was alone. Life on the Crimson Fungus Farm was harsh, but for Hogs OG, it was unbearable. Every day was torment. Every night he cried himself to sleep. He wished he could be different. He wished he could be accepted. But most of all, he wished the pain would stop. He would often hide in the tall crimson fungi. The stems towered over him. It was his only solace, a place where he could disappear, where he could pretend he was invisible, where the laughter couldn't reach him. His heart ached. He wanted to be loved. He wanted to be accepted. But it seemed like an impossible dream, a dream that slipped further away with each passing day. Hogs OG's home life wasn't a sanctuary. It was another source of pain. His father had left. He couldn't bear the shame of having a son like Hogs OG, a son who was different. The absence echoed in their small pen. It was a constant reminder of his father's rejection. It was a heavy weight on Hogs OG's young shoulders. His mother tried her best. She loved him unconditionally, but she couldn't shield him from the world's cruelty. She couldn't erase the pain of his father's abandonment. The silence was deafening. It spoke volumes of his father's disdain. It whispered doubts in Hogs OG's ears. Was he really that bad? Was he unworthy of love? His mother always told him his father might still care. She clung to that hope. She wanted Hogs OG to have faith. Maybe one day his father would return. Maybe one day things would be different. But deep down, Hogs OG knew it was a lie. He felt the truth in his bones. His father was gone. He wasn't coming back. Every time his mother mentioned his father, a flicker of hope ignited in Hogs OG's heart, but it was quickly extinguished. The reality of his situation was too harsh to ignore. He wished his mother wouldn't lie to him. He wished she would just accept the truth. His father was gone, and he wasn't coming back. Section 4. Crimson Tears. Birthdays were the worst. They were a painful reminder of his loneliness. No one came to celebrate with him, not even his mother. She always seemed to disappear on that day. He would sit alone in his pen. A single crimson fungus lay in front of him. It was his only gift, his only companion. As he ate, tears streamed down his face. They mingled with the crimson juice of the fungus, staining his snout red. Each year he hoped for something different. He wished for someone to remember. He wished for someone to care. But every year he was met with the same crushing disappointment. Section 5. Vengeance. The Hogs OG sought retribution, their fury unleashed upon those who wronged them. Their vengeance was swift and merciless. Section 6. Rampage. Hogs OG's fury unleashed in full force. Gap 3S. Section 7. The final stand. Hogs OG, battered and bruised from his rampage, found himself cornered by the very forces he sought to destroy. The air was thick with tension, the only sound the heavy breathing of his opponents and the distant echoes of the chaos he had unleashed. Gap 2S. But Hogs OG was not alone. From the shadows emerged his loyal friends, their faces steeled with determination. Together, they formed a defensive line, ready to face whatever came their way. "We fight together," one of them declared, their voice unwavering. Gap 2S. The battle that ensued was fierce and unrelenting. Hogs OG and his friends fought with everything they had, their bond of loyalty and friendship giving them strength. Yet, even as they pushed back their enemies, Hogs OG knew that this fight would come at a great cost. Gap 2S. In a moment of clarity, Hogs OG realized that this might be his final stand. With a heavy heart he fought on, his mind drifting to thoughts of his mother. He could almost hear her voice, a comforting whisper amidst the chaos. Gap 2S. As the dust settled and the last of their foes retreated, Hogs OG stood tall, his body weary but unbroken. His friends gathered around him, their faces reflecting the same mix of relief and sorrow. They had won, but the victory felt hollow. Gap 2S. With a final glance at the battlefield, Hogs OG knew it was time to say goodbye. He turned to his friends, his voice barely a whisper. "Thank you," he said, his words filled with gratitude and pain. "For everything." Gap 2S. As they departed, Hogs OG stood before his mother, tears welling up in his eyes. "Goodbye, Mother," he whispered, his voice trembling. His mother, equally heartbroken, could only nod, her own tears falling silently. "I will miss you," she said softly, her voice filled with sorrow. Hogs OG turned away, his heart heavy with the weight of their parting. Section 7. Farewell, Hogs OG.